That is an extremely beautiful church that is unfortunately closed and I cannot enter. But it's one of 4 churches. Oh, here comes the bus. And there goes the bus. Okay, one of 4 churches that I'm going to visit in Santa Ana, El Salvador, or at least see the front of. Let me back up a little, and you can see the bars that I can't get past. But we're going to take a walk through the city because there's 4 amazing churches in this town, and I want to see them all. So this is 2 coffees to go. Only 1 coffee on this trip. The dog is at home, the wife is at home. But let's go explore Santa Ana, El Salvador. Okay, here's church number 2 on our 4 church tour of Santa Ana, El Salvador. And unfortunately, although the doors are open, the gates are closed. So it doesn't look like we're going to be visiting this church either. And we're also on a bus route. And behind me is a very loud, noisy food market. So I'm not going to stop and talk just yet. I'll probably wait till we get to the biggest and most spectacular of the churches, which is church number 4. But this is number 2, Santa Ana, El Salvador. Well, this is a real disappointment. So not only can you not see the 3rd church very well because it's behind a barricaded gate and therefore blocked off from view. You can see in front of me the gate with the kind of the white metal sheets across of it blocking my view. Next to it is a school. That's the 3-story gray building. The church is kind of behind there somewhere. Not only can you not see it, it's also raining. But it's not on a bus route, at least not one that I know of. Although I've learned after a couple of days here in El Salvador that pretty much everything is a bus route. If there's no road that's too dangerous, too windy, too heavily trafficked, that you're not going to attempt to bring a bus on it. These are hardy people. They know how to get around. The people of El Salvador, they've been through a lot too. So let's take a little walk. We're going to walk back uphill towards the main plaza. And the reason I wanted to visit all 4 churches is because if you look at a map of Santa Ana, El Salvador, the churches actually form the shape of a cross. And I'm not talking about just the church themselves. Catholic churches traditionally form the shape of a cross. Buenos dias. You know, if you go into a Catholic church, you're kind of walking into the quote-unquote the foot of the cross. The altar would be the head of the cross, and then the 2 wings to the left and the right would be the arms of the cross. But here in the city, all 4 churches form geographically on a map a cross shape. And you can see that it's raining, a little bit of a sun shower, and a lot of traffic. Motorcycles and again, lots of buses, some food stalls. Santa Ana is a colonial town and trying to establish itself on the tourist trail. For many years, El Salvador was just off limits, and due to a host of problems, whether it be civil war or cartels. They have a new president now that the people seem to love, Presidente Nayib Bukele, and he's done a long way of trying to clean up El Salvador and sort of erase its negative history off the map, and therefore put it back on the tourist trail. So that way, we're going to let the buses pass. That way, when people travel through Central America, they don't skip over this beautiful country with its beautiful people. Because if you look at a map, you can see, you know, take for example, if you're coming from the north, you've been to Antigua, Guatemala, another colonial town, very famous on the tourist trail. And then from there, you hop a bus to Honduras, where you go to Copan to see the ruins Then from there, you hop a bus to the north coast of Honduras, then on to the capital, Tegucigalpa, and then into Nicaragua, and you can avoid completely El Salvador. Well, there's a new sheriff in town, and now you can come and visit, and hopefully visit safely. All right, starting to rain a little heavier. I'm going to put the GoPro away. We're coming up to the fourth and final church. I think I'll wait out the rain a little bit before we keep going. What do you do during a downpour in Santa Ana, El Salvador? Well, if you're like me, you hide under the gazebo in the Plaza Mayor, or under any sort of structure that you can. Here is the municipal building, sort of the government building for the city of Santa Ana, and you can see some people standing under the canopy there. It's a really pretty central plaza. If you go over here, here is the famous Teatro De Santa Ana, and I'm hoping to get to go inside both of those buildings sometime, some opportunity. We are filming during a pandemic and during the low tourist season in El Salvador, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to visit too many places or just see the outsides like I did with the churches. We'll take a little walk around the central plaza to show you some daily life in Santa Ana. And I came here because I wanted to get out and travel again. It's June 2021. Things are thankfully clearing up as far as the pandemic goes. And I booked this trip a few months ago when prices were really, really low. Now here you can see the fourth and final church. There is the Cathedral of Santa Ana in the distance. Lots of food stalls lining the street. Let's walk back into the plaza and then we'll go to the church. I booked this trip a few months ago when prices were really, really low because no one knew if the country was even going to be open for tourism. Some countries have shut down completely. Some countries are requiring quarantine. But now that it's starting to get better, all you need to get into El Salvador is a valid passport, of course, and either a negative COVID test taken at least, or taken within 72 hours of your trip, or if you're like me, you can show them your vaccination card and that will get you in. So people talk about how vaccines are controlling us and limiting our freedoms. Well, here's proof that having the vaccine afforded me a freedom that other people don't have, the freedom to travel to another country. So, not to get on a big political soapbox, but get that vaccine. All right, let's cross the street and we'll go inside the cathedral, and I'll film while I'm in there, but I'm going to be pretty quiet, just out of respect to the church. Check out all the food stalls. People walking the streets selling goods, coconuts, mangoes, pupusas. I've been here 2 days. I've already had a ton of pupusas. And of course all your bottled drinks. And here we go past the gates. Let's go inside, see the cathedral. Let me clean the lens of my camera. There we go. Thank you, t-shirt. El Cristo Negro, the Black Christ, which I've seen before in Guatemala. And the Holy Mother. Sí, sí. Sí, está lloviendo. It looks like a very old style confessional. I think I got some water under the lens covering. La Virgen de Guadalupe, of course, famous through all of Latin America. Get a little bit of this architecture. And this is a beautiful old church. In a city that dates back to colonial times. So I don't know exactly when this cathedral was built, but I guarantee you it has roots going back to the 1500s. Okay, and there we go. There's a tour of the 4 churches of Santa Ana, El Salvador. You know, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Join me on my next adventure. This is 2 Coffees to go.